What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Yeah, my camera did turn off, but since it happened early enough, I was able to turn it back on. So annoying. It's also not quite in focus either. So, bunch of BS. Hey Tim, I'm doing well. Doozer versus traveling through. Traveling through is beating Doozer. Nice. Talking about the Tour Divide. So, what's up, Eric Anderson? How's it going? Peekaboo? Yeah, I don't know why it frees up for you. I'm showing me that everything's stream is healthy. I was a little worried tonight because we are getting, looks like maybe thunderstorms moving in. So, but what's up, Pudgy? Cycling Brian? Yeah, you heard the camera turn off. But what's we got? Jason Scott. Lots of fish in Buffalo 93. Yeah, that's what I titled the stream because it's just been the last, what, it really started yesterday, I think? Brutal. So. Madison, what's up? Rock, how's it going? Dimitri was up in here first. What's up, Daniel? The heat started on Sunday. I wrote on Sunday. I guess up here it wasn't too bad yet. It was warm, but not like the last couple days have been. Yeah, today I actually I needed to drop off some guitar pedals at Earthquaker, so I got on the e-bike and it was nice because then I could just ride, pedal a little bit and ride at 20 miles an hour and get the breeze. So yeah, it made it so I could actually go out and ride. And again, this is one thing I was thinking to myself. I'm like, I'm not riding this e-bike instead of riding a regular bike. I'm riding the e-bike instead of driving over to Earthquaker to drop this stuff off. So I'm still going to ride tomorrow night if it's not thundering and lightning. Right now, it looks like I said we're getting a little storm, but we have this Florida weather, so now you never know when the thunderstorms and the little spots will roll through. Yesterday there was nothing. Like Minutecast on AccuWeather said nothing was going to happen, and then we got a storm. It blew through like crazy. A couple of people in Discords put photos of like trees down on the Freedom Trail and all that stuff. So. You have summer drought, cycling Brian. Yeah, we've actually, it's weird. Like I've said, we've gotten a fair amount of rain, but it's not been enough that it's stopped me from riding a lot. So, hey, what's up, Patty? Pudgy investing in Lycra converting to full roadie. Oh, what's up, Jacob? Missed your comment. 93 in Morgantown today. Rained hard with wind for a bit, brought some blowdowns, just moved some trees on the neighborhood trails. Yeah. Oh, and you're racing at noon. Supposed to be 90 on Sunday. Yeah, we're supposed to go camping this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like. If it, I haven't looked at how far out how the heat wave goes. I know it's supposed to last most of the week. So, and again, we have people like Patty in here who are totally used to that kind of brutal heat. But as I say, it is a little different here with the horrible humidity on top of it. So yeah, short trip. So I forgot to even bring my Wahoo. So I didn't like uh, log the trip, but it would have been like 10 miles. So perfect. Yeah. What's up, Mark Day? Tim said it's 95 in Maine. Geez, if it's 95 in Maine. Uh, our upstairs tenant is going to Las Vegas this weekend, and it was like 109 there last week, but I think it's past there, so they're not getting the horrible, worse than Vegas ever does anymore. So, what happened to my Raleigh hanger? I've ripped it off a couple times. I've ripped the derailleur off a couple times, and now I'm running I've been running a road link for a while, so I'm putting just a lot of torque with big gears through it. It's integrated, so it just needs to be cut off. The dropout needs to be cut off, and a new one needs to be welded in. I don't know how much it's going to cost to fix it. Like I said in the video, you probably saw I talked to a couple frame builders, but I didn't ask them what it would cost. I just assume it's going to cost less than a new bike. I hope. So that's my bet. So yeah, we got a couple. What do you call someone from Maine? A Mainer? Mainite?
Mennonite.
Maniac? Judging from this crew. Oh, Bradley, you like the 90s? I don't. Like I said, it doesn't ruin it for me, but that's hot. So Eric said 88 in Raleigh, so it's hotter in Ohio than it is in North Carolina. Oh, Stephanie, you said you had to wait out a loud storm at the park in the bathroom for a solid hour earlier. Yeah, nothing is. We only got some drizzle here in Cuyahoga Falls so far. Right when I came down here, the sky was mixed. You could see the sun and some clouds, but it was also I could hear thunder in the distance. So. Huh. Jacob said Portland is actually more humid than Morgantown on average in the summer months, and we're talking about Portland, Maine here, but a few degrees cooler. I'll take a couple degrees hotter. Gotcha. First day of summer is going to deliver. Maina. Someone from Maine is a Maina. Oh, there goes the camera again. Patty said it cooled off and only got to 101 today. Mainer, Maniac, everyone's saying that. Yeah, today it was only 78 when I came down here. Still super humid and feeling super hot, but went back out again.
Yeah, turn it off.
Huh. Yeah, I actually want to look out see the week. Oh man, tomorrow it says thunderstorms, afternoon through early evening. So but these are all spotty. Who knows if I'll be able to ride or not? Where's the daily? Tuesday 92. Yeah. So it hit 92 today probably. 90 tomorrow, humid, heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. 94 on Thursday, thunderstorm. There's always going to be a thunderstorm chance when it gets uh, into the 90s in Ohio. Like I said, it's Florida weather then. 93 on Friday, thunderstorms. 94 on Saturday, the heat will be dangerous for those without air conditioning. Well, my air conditioning doesn't work, so I guess it's dangerous for me. I got fans running everywhere upstairs. And Sunday, 89, so then it starts to drop. Well, not really, 82, 86, 84. No, this is a warm beginning to summer, 87 through Saturday. Not that I believe forecast this far out, but yeah. This is into our vacation. It'll be in the 80s and 90s, so. Oh, that focus is still off.
Is it?
Why does it look so blurry?
I have it on manual.
It's
Yeah.
Farley, no, I haven't got the shirts made up yet. I do have all the stickers are going to be restocked on. Well, it's set on Friday, so hopefully have that, do inventory and all that stuff. But this is actually the original version that there was the print on demand one. That's why it looks like it's wearing out. The ones that Micah prints for me don't actually look like that. So lobster? Wouldn't it be a B? Oh, Pudgy already said that. Lobster for Maine. Yeah, so like I said, I will still ride in this weather, but today when I had to like haul stuff and I just wanted to run an errand and not be like a complete mess, it was nice to have the e-bike. So, and I actually also a couple of the guys I was dropping the pedals off to were really interested in it. They have bikes, but they aren't like cyclists or like nerds about it. So they didn't really know about pedal assist and the 20 mile an hour kind of cutoff and the classes and all that. So, and they were like surprised. They're like, I wouldn't have guessed that was an e-bike without really looking at it, which is one of the reasons I like that one. But my dad is when we go on vacation, my dad's going to pick up that bike and borrow it. So I'll be interested to hear his opinion. My dad rides bikes a lot the way I got into bikes. I probably got into it that way because of him, but he's never owned any kit or anything like that. He's just someone who likes to go out and ride his bike once, sometimes. So I'll be interested to see what he thinks about the e-bike. He hasn't been riding as much lately. He works out every day. He can't run because he's had knee replacement, so he has a what do you call those machines that kind of look like a steam engine? Like where you put your feet in them and they kind of move like the way the things that move steam engine wheels would look.
Elliptical?
Elliptical, yeah. So he lifts weights and he does the elliptical. So.
What's that one when you were on the skis, the fake skis?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was trying to.
Do those ski things still exist? I remember those commercials. Norditrack.
Norditrack.
Play Norditrack commercials and get demonetized. What did we get demonetized for last time? Mac at Night or something? No, there was something more goofy. That Mac at Night's a long time ago. There was something more recent we were watching that was really goofy. I can't remember what it was. I like lobster. We used to do a ride to Fishers in Peninsula on their lobster. They have like 3 or 4 nights in the fall where they do their like lobster dinners, and that was always we made a point to ride our bikes and get down to that. And sometimes they would run out before we got there, though. So, hey, what's up, Blackball? Yeah, some coastal bugs. Oh, there we go. Elliptical. Pudgy got Nordic track. That's. Oh, Racer, you said rainwave there, making up for the lack of snow you had this winter. Oh, and Cycling Brian. It was the Small Wonder intro. Yeah. The robot girl, were you here that night?
No, I don't remember that.
I can't even remember how we went down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I did the thing on, what was it? So not yesterday, but Sunday night, came home. Me and Edmund went outside, watered all the plants, and then the next day we got those thunderstorms which soaked everything, and I'm like, well, that was a waste, but that's how it goes. Vicky the Small Wonder robot girl. I don't know how I can't remember how we got into that. But what's up, CJ? CJ said, have to start at 5:30 a.m. here in Memphis. Oh, yeah. Pudgy, I was watching your video of horns. I'll pull them up with your permission. But it's funny because I was looking at how you can bypass all the obstacles. The first video you put up, I'm not familiar with enough with horns to remember it off the top of my head. And I was looking at that. I'm like, oh, I could ride that. And then I realized, I'm like, no, this is GoPro footage. And I'm looking at the banks on the turns, and I'm like, these are way steeper than I'm imagining them being. So. Let's see, I'll pull it up. And again, like I'm saying, YouTube never shows what they, our GoPros don't show how steep something looks. So I need to go look at the Strava to see what the gradients look like. Let's see if this will give it to me in a search. Yeah, it will. Cool. Nah, it's still not working.
It had the autofocus going, but that error message was on. But you can see the autofocus, like little box going back.
Oh, huh. That's not good. Oh, that was last week, the same day I got told to go ride my 10-speed and smoke weed with Hunter Biden.
Said I missed it. Sounded like a good night.
Oh, there we go. Let me mute it so we don't get too much noise. Dylan said the steepness is unlike anything in Ohio, but there are mellow trails. You just have to have someone who knows them. Got you. Backside of Horns is mellow. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's funny because when you say the picture just got really clear, some people think the GoPro looks better, but it's just over sharpened. I actually far prefer, but for some reason, whatever. The Canon just looks blurry tonight. I have no idea what's going on with it. So, hey, what's up, Carl? How you doing? I'm gonna pull up Pudgy's video of horns here. Can't do anything about that. Oh, I can hide it, can't I? There we go. Oh, what's up, D'Amico? I actually stopped in Dirty River today to ask about getting the gunner rebuilt and when they might have time because I have the 2 trips coming up. And so, yeah, they told me you had just been in there. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, tell them at Joy Machines you heard about it at the channel. Sounds good for me. But yeah, I like all those dudes. So if you talk to Alex or whoever, let them know that You saw it on the channel, so yeah. What's up, Ronald? Out in Boston. Camera would take a swift trip to the trash can if it was yours. Yeah, it's actually my professional camera. I'd prefer not to be using it for this at all, but it's the only one that I have in the setup that works right now. So I will be switching that up soon. But yeah, I get frustrated with tech, but not frustrated enough to smash a $3,800 camera. The new one comes out. The new version of mine comes out this summer, they say, but that's supposed to be a $3,900 camera. So I'm probably not gonna. It's not gonna be in the cards unless something goes drastically wrong with this one. And live streaming is not going to be the thing that does it. So. Is that the Edmund or what's going on back there? Weird noises coming from the back of the basement. They might have convinced you to buy an Atzo. Nice. I think this is where you're dropping. Okay, now Pudgy's dropping it on the trails we're talking about here. I was watching this. When it gets steep, I could see, but you got the GoPro pointed a little low, which I'm sure you noticed. But that's one thing I do like about shooting Pudgy in the 8x7 format. So you don't have to worry about your framing as much because you could reframe it up or down a little bit after the fact. Carl said, I'm sure you've been down this rabbit hole with the camera, but dialing down the resolution on your camera and apparently having the utility and video mode, not live view more? Huh. Because this one's going through web. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that, though. But it never used to have a problem. That's what doesn't make any sense. We didn't change anything. Well, I have to see how you're rendering it, though, Pudgy. That's a huge part of what stuff looks like on YouTube. Is the as Dylan will tell you is the rendered output versus um, the settings on the camera are one thing, but then how you render it when you output it is a whole nother thing. So.
I was half paying attention. Where's this?
This is Horns. Oh wow, that is some. Yeah, I remember seeing that terrain too, being really rough. So Horns is like a downhill park. Is
Yeah.
that the right definition, guys? But
Looks like it.
yeah. So I think there's actually shuttles up to the top if you want them. Like you don't even have to ride like up. But it's not. I don't think they don't have like ski lifts or anything. But, well, you could tell the steepness of something when right there when you see them let go and how quickly
Right.
the acceleration happens. Yeah, like what you guys are saying on the wider. That's why I just like the 8x7 because it's the full entire sensor. So I don't want to. Whoops. I want to go back to the other ones that I haven't watched yet. Is this the Weezer video? Hey, what's up, mass produced? I'm definitely not staying cool, and I'm very tired because I didn't sleep very well last night. The Michigan coast to coast gravel grinder, if you mean by big, if you mean length, it's 200 miles. I don't know how, like, if you mean big of an event. Yeah, that's not true, Racer. Pathless Pedal was talking about how Sony there's a rumor they would change the mount again because they can't make any more mounts. Canon has just switched to the RF mount within the last 4 years. They're not, and they haven't built out their full lens lineup yet. So no, that was about Sony, and it was only a rumor, and it was only Pathless Pedaled using that as an example of why Shimano and SRAM are going to 13 speed and all that stuff. So it's not even wow, look how steep that drop in is. It's not even necessarily true with Sony. It's definitely not in Canon's cards right now. I need to move. This isn't even straight. And why can't I move it? There we go. I'm cutting off part of the video. But when you guys said it was not fully as wide, that's part of the reason. Wait, what format are you filming in? Oh, I see what's going on here. I have this set up for like showing Discord photos. There we go. That's full frame now. No, Carl, this is so what you're talking about is the protocol that newer Canon cameras have. Mine has to go through the webcam utility app. So the R8 has those kind of options, but my camera doesn't. So oh, cool. Dylan's got another Discord video of horns. We'll pull that up next. Oh, Christopher Webb, you were in the UP. I assume that LP's a, oh no, Lower Peninsula. I never hear anyone mention it's just Michigan or the UP, you know?
Yeah.
Crash on Horns Trails is like a cheese grater now with all the shale. Yeah, if you guys have been in the Discord, Pudgy has posted some photos of what it looks like, his accident, or what he looked like after his accident. Yeah, I know. Pudgy, well, we need to talk about some of this stuff in person or over the phone because I did give you some settings that I use, but there's settings when you set it are only one part of dealing with GoPro footage. Hey, what's up, Mr. Natty? Yeah, it's funny. I was just watching about Terry B was over in France streaming, and everyone's talking about countries, but I don't even know what the sport is going on right now. Some kind of is it a World Cup year or something? No, I don't think so. The Olympics are coming up, and
The Euro Cup.
what's the Euro Cup? Is that soccer?
It's like yeah.
Football? When I first got it, I thought you said you were watching Pudgy's porn video, not horn video. No, that's exactly what it is, Jay Dandy. But I think they caught on just as like a workout machine with no impact. So Dylan said this video doesn't do it justice at all. It's basically an uncontrollable two-wheel skid and you can't turn because it's a skinny rut. Huh. I saw the headlines, Peekaboo, but I haven't watched it yet. Oh, is that where you wrecked right there? Is that why it went black? Oh, yeah. Let's go back. You said it's first person, so you can't really tell. Why'd it go that far? Oh, I guess that's close. Just from shooting with a GoPro so long, I could kind of tell how steep it really is. Oh, yeah. It just looks like you go straight into the ground. I don't. Cycling Brian. I hope you guys, is it cool that we just like watch these videos where we just still do a normal chat? My camera keeps cutting out anyway, so. But yeah, Pathless Pedal wearing a tinfoil hat conspiracy with bike component companies. I pretty much agree with what he's saying. I mean, because he's saying like their job is to make a profit, so they have to come up with something new. The problem is that bikes have just gotten so advanced. Like the innovations don't matter anymore. Like 11 speed, 12 speed, 13 speed. Like, I don't know. I do like my 11 speed group sets. I like the 9. I do like 11 better, but do I need more than that? No. I know people said that with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all up and down the line, but it does get to a point where, you know, what's the return on investment? And also, like he was saying, they're not increasing the gear ranges on any of them. They're just squeezing more gears in there to make it sound shiny and new. And yeah, so I mostly like agree with them. They have to put out a new product. They have to make it sound exciting, and that's what they do. But do we need it? I don't know. Putty said he had the choice of dirt nap, tree, or cliff. We should let's see. How do I make that work? Because I could pull those up over. Where? And now I gotta remember where you posted it in bicycle pics now. Let's see, we have that. No, we have this. Oh, just chatting. I think it was in there. Yep. Oh yeah, that's a bruise and a half. Ah, that's from the accident we just watched. Yeah, and agreed, Pudgy. Like cadence, but I just feel like now I'm there with 11 speed. I just can't. You know. Yeah, yeah, I do. I would agree that like depending on what you're doing, but again, that's like a mountain bike innovation. So I do think mountain bikes constantly innovate, but I think that's not pathless pedals. Russ's usually what he's talking about when it comes to like gravel road ATB. Man, I'm on the fence about whether I would want one of those big ugly derailleurs on my bike. So, but then again, I've also broken multiple derailleurs too. So, I'm just over there chilling. This heat has him in the mood just to hang out. So. It's funny, Jay Dan, you said you don't find anything past this pedal controversial at all, and to me, it's not either. But I definitely see how just dropping that, I forget that, like, and we've talked about this before. We kind of live in a bubble with just knowing a lot of like-minded people and going to like-minded events, and then you get out in the world and like, all right, get comments on YouTube. People can't believe everyone in my group rides steel bikes for the most part. So I kind of get so in that bubble of steel bikes and uh, yeah, not the high end, not the latest. That I forget that like Russ's opinions that are totally normal to me are like when it comes to the mainstream of cycling outside the mainstream. So that's hot. Whose leg is it? That was Pudgy's leg. Oh, he says it looks worse right now. Yeah, and that Madison, that was one of the points that Russ was making too. He was like, stuff used to be backwards compatible, stuff used to be cross brand compatible, stuff used to be mountain and road compatible, and that was like, he's bringing up as an annoyance that we've kind of lost that stuff more and more. So, and again, it's kind of on purpose and to sell products. So, oh, you cracked 3 ribs. I did see you say that, Pudgy. That's yeah, Jay Dandy, Aaron with the crust road unbound with friction shifting. Yeah, on a steel bike. He said, like, well, you guys saw he was on the stream that he did get comments and looks and all that kind of stuff. What is it? Making little noises there. If I'm not too sore, I'm cleaning that line on Sunday. Broken ribs are a motivation to clean it. Remind me of where Horns is. If I pull up a map, as I'm sure Jay Dandy would love, like, what do I look for to find Horns? First, I want to show the video Dylan sent just to see, because it says Ohio Mountain Bike World State Championship winning run at Horns. So he was saying this really gives us an idea of what it looks like. Oh, Newark, Ohio. I have pulled this up on the stream before, but I just can't remember where Newark, Ohio is. Maybe I will pull that up first. Just 11 hours by bike. Alright, so where are we compared to... Oh, so not even all the way to Columbus. I see. Why would it take so long? It doesn't take us that long to drive to Columbus, does it?
Well, it's a little east, so it's not as
Oh.
direct.
Yeah, I guess maybe just because you stay on 71, you have to get off there for... I guess, yeah, just spending less
Yeah,
time
those
on the
are more-
freeway. Yeah. I've never broken ribs on my bike. I've broken ribs from playing Thanksgiving Day football when Greg Milo laid a hit on me. Let's see. Horns Hill. Let's see if Horns. Okay, there we go. See it on the satellite. Huh. So it's just like one big mountain right there, or a mountain like one really big hill right there. What are these like weird, a bunch of like weird sewer things? What's what? It doesn't show up on Google's bike map, huh? Does it? Interesting. Anyways. Ah, gross. Oh, you gotta surgically drain from smacking your knee so hard. I'm about to throw up. Yeah, I've been 2 by for a long time, but oh shoot, almost lost my spot. There's a Rack's roast beef still open in Newark. Oh, is that the one people talk about? I knew there was a Rack somewhere down there. I thought it was Athens, but maybe that's just. This is. Dylan said people drive 6+ hours on weekends to Horns. Blows my mind, but the trails are really incredible for that style of riding. Huh. Hey, what's up, Greg? Racer, I don't think it's necessary. I keep thinking that the more that like events like Unbound and stuff get more professional and bigger, just smaller events will keep coming to fill in the holes. But even without it, like I guess I just really don't care because I'm just gonna go ride gravel roads when I want to, anyways, or like the industrial gravel stuff we talk about. When the UCI first started doing like their gravel series in Europe, like a bunch of people freaked out the UCI is going to ruin gravel, and it's had like zero effect. Uh, way less effect than like Unbound's popularity with pros has had, in my opinion. So, yeah, and a lot of the events are still making sure that normies can ride it. Like they have the corral up front for the pros, and then there's still a huge field behind of people who just want to accomplish it. It's become like running in a way. Like you go to the New York City. Well, hey, I guess you have to qualify for some of those events, but so many people want to run a marathon, and their only goal is to finish. The only people who are racing to win are at the front. That's kind of my mentality about the thing. I don't do that many events, so it really doesn't bother me. I mean, Black Fork is the only big like gravel race I do, so and it is. That's like we're definitely the few people without kit and carbon bikes there, but it doesn't bother me. I'm there doing my own thing. So, all right, let's see this. I want to see the video that Dylan posted. Let me pull this up.
10 seconds.
Why is it?
5, 4, 3.
Where's that?
You got
two different videos playing at once, or the video playing in two locations. All right, let's see this. So get me real nice and far behind. All right. Oh, so is this where Pudgy's first video entered? I think so. But just what it looks like on race day with someone who's race ready. Oh yeah, my gunner is not going down this trail ever. Those rocky sections, I mean, obviously it's roped off there for the race. You could have bypassed a little of that, but at the beginning it looked like it was all like that. No way. No way.
if you're looking outside the tape, there's
Yeah.
bypasses on everything.
This is still riding my brakes the whole time, though.
That's true.
Because, I mean, yeah, any jump like that, you can roll. You don't have to jump if you're not going that speed, but, yeah. So about those trails, Pudgy said he rode with Kentucky and Tennessee folks a few weeks ago. Google would get sued if it came up on a bike map trail. Bike map trail. The nice thing about busted ribs is you randomly yell or curse throughout the day. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Pudgy said I think Lifetime will mess up gravel before the UCI. Yeah, I mean the UCI versions of gravel from when I watch the televised events are not what American gravel looks like at all. But Rainbow Jersey got the smackdown at Unbound. Yeah, that's for sure. But wouldn't it be really cool to go to an event where everyone's riding cool or wacky stuff? Yeah, I go to those events. They're Nutmeg, Hodag, Ride in Ann Arbor. be heading back up there soon. And so I just think like the non-race events are the fun events for that. You go out and you ride. You could race it if you want. You go out and ride the course that like Ronnie lays out as fast as you want. But yeah, that's why those are more entertaining to me. I feel like, and not that like anyone who races isn't my friend. You know, Ames is on here all the time. Is someone I was just hanging out with all day on Sunday. But yeah, to go meet a broad group of strangers, to me, it's going to be going to the kind of alt cycling events, as they say, and just meeting people who are doing cool stuff, building up vintage bikes in cool ways. That's, yeah, it's just more interesting. That's what I've always said. I'm not anti anyone who wants to ride a carbon race bike and riding kit and race or any of that stuff. And I love pro racing, but when someone like you can't be like, look at this awesome bike. It's like that's just an off the shelf bike that's really expensive. You know what I mean? Like it's like just an expensive car. It's like if you didn't do anything but buy that as a dealership, I mean, when a new car comes out, it might be cool to see it the first time, but who cares after that? You know what I mean? And I mean, if you're a car guy and you drive and you like to really drive, I get it. Same thing if you like to really race, you know, you get a carbon bike that's light and fast and has electronic shifting and whatever. But for me to look at it after I've seen the first one that the company advertises and I see it in person once, then who cares, you know? So there's no real personalization. That's what I really did find interesting. We were talking about, me and Dylan and Ben were watching a video when we were in Ann Arbor. What is that guy's name, Dylan? And I won't get to your comment till way too late, so it doesn't matter. But I think it's Dylan Johnson or something who actually built up a kind of unique bike to race Unbound. He came in ninth, I think, but he had like the Lao fork. He was running mountain bike tires with deep section wheels, and that was actually one of the most interesting like race bike build like and reasons behind it videos I've ever watched, because someone was doing something truly unique in the race. But anywho, where are we at? Oh, did I not play that video? That video was up, right?
What?
When we watched that.
I'm reading something.
Ah. Did I not play that video?
I was I was
There's
watching it on the top screen, so I didn't.
Yeah, was it
I
just like
wasn't
a-
paying attention.
Was it just a
about it.
reaction of me without the video up? Oh my god. You know what's funny, Pudgy? And I'm not going to say this wouldn't help, but like when I borrowed, Otis had that demo Salsa full suspension bike, and I went and tried to ride it. Without knowing how to use a bike that's made for this stuff, I don't find it helps. So, like, I would have to go practice on like a full suspension bike or something like that to go ride and have the benefit of it. Like, if that makes any sense. I mean, obviously there would be a benefit to dropper seat posts or stuff like that on steep stuff, but like I know how like my rigid bikes handle, and then when I went and rode like the full suspension bike, I didn't feel more capable to go out and ride it on one day. So if I just showed up and borrowed someone's bike, I don't feel like it would help me. I feel like I'd be better on my own bike, even though I'd still be probably killing myself.
The video was up.
It was up? Okay, good. That would be so funny if it's just me and you staring at the screen. See if I can get this. Anyone taking the Gunner Down Gauntlet is doing it cruel. D'Amico said I'm getting Pudgy's bruises just watching that. Donald, you said Cincinnati's smoking hot today, but the morning ride is cool in the shade. Yeah, and I do find that with bikes. Just the breeze you get, long as you're in the shade, I can ride in some pretty hot weather. So. See where else we are. Oh, by the way, the other part of this title, when I was going to say weird bike products, company sent me this invite to review one of the weirdest products I've ever seen, and right before I must have deleted the email, and I cannot find a link to it, and I'm so annoyed with myself. But it would have been so much better if I could have just showed it to you. But it was a product, and I wonder if anyone's ever seen this before. You clamp it on your seat tube, and it's a battery, and then it has a motor in it, and it's just a like a wheel thing that goes onto your tire. And I was like, this thing is the worst product I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what can you picture that? So it's just like clamped on your seat tube, battery, motor, and then like a wheel that's just turning, like pushing the rubber on your tire.
Oh, from like friction?
Yeah, friction.
Weren't we looking at that before?
Did we look at it?
Or something
I'm just
similar to
thinking of-
that?
Yeah, it just seems like a nightmare. Anyway. Yeah, Cycling Brian, I think you were here, but like that's what Aaron was saying when he was on. He definitely wants to ride Mid South again, but he doesn't have any real desire to ride Unbound again. Gorilla Style, this isn't my area expertise, but I do believe Pudgy had said something very similar to this when we were a couple years ago talking about the UCI thing. But again, like stuff gets super popular and people try and race it, and that's what happens. I mean, I don't know how you fault anything about it. It'd be a really good listen is Lachlan Morton was on Ted King's YouTube channel. They were calling it a podcast because that's what you have to call stuff. Here, this is my podcast now. Maybe it'll be more popular. We're podcasting. We're not talking on YouTube. So, anyways, the Lachlan Morton Ted King conversation was really interesting because they kind of talk a little bit about this, and I don't know. It's also fascinating coming from someone who just won Unbound saying what he's saying. So, check it out. I think probably most of you know who Ted King is. Hey, what's up, Rusty? Rusty, word on the street is that you got in another accident. I hear you, Racer. Mr. V, what's up? You said you passed me all the time on the trail through Kent, but you realize it too late to say hi. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Try and shout me out next time we pass each other. I'm definitely out that way a ton. So. Hey, what's up, Yinzer? How's it going? I was just thinking about the idea of getting out to Pittsburgh, and D'Amico had asked in the Discord if we were going to do any more meetups even here, but with my vacation coming up, basically what I've decided is I'm not going to think about any of that stuff till I get back, because that's just kind of all that's on my mind, and I can't believe it's 2 weeks away already. So when I get back, then trying to plan more meetups and stuff like that would be like on my radar for the rest of the summer and the fall. And because then we'll also be planning out the rest of our schedule, which I haven't done. It's just hard for me to think of anything beyond the one main trip we're doing when it's, I don't know, the way I am. Anyone know if Temu's still shipping bike parts and clothing? Man, I see their ads, but I've never looked into what they do. Just buy your hardtail. What led everyone down this movie path? What are you guys talking about? Have you caught this?
I was trying to figure out where you're at.
Ah. I don't think I'm too far behind.
I don't think so.
Oh, that is another one I got that I could show you guys. I think I have it pulled up. How do I do that? So the one I wanted to show was that weird part I was just talking about, but Schwinn also reached out to me, so which just makes it sad again because I'm like, this is not Schwinn, but and wants to know if I want to review this bike. I'm not going to take it before I even pull it up because I just don't want another thing here, and it's not something I want, and it's another something that has to be made and end up in a landfill eventually. But I just a mountain bike that costs $350. I put it in the Discord, and someone said I think that Burn Peak did do a review. I watch a lot of his videos, but I didn't see this one. But I just can't imagine. I put the meme under it that just said, "Guess I'll die." 'Cause how could you make a bike for $350? That's designed to go down mountain bike trails. My opinion.
What's the shock on that?
It's Schwinn branded.
I don't know shit about shocks, but
Yeah, I mean, who knows who makes it, but it's branded Schwinn. And they're like talking in the video how it's perfect. That, if you get into it, you could upgrade it and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess you look at 90s mountain bikes, maybe it's safer than that.
Mario El Romo super chatted $5. That's my fault, Tim. I made an Al Bundy reference and it went to Kelly Bundy real quick and so on. See no evil monkey.
Gotcha. And thanks. I love the fact that he reads the emojis out loud. Weirder than the bike pimp? I would say it is. I just can't find it. Yeah, Brian, like a bottle generator is exactly what I was talking about, what it reminded me of. So. Girl says that gravel roads are great in overly hot weather. Lots of shades around there, at least. Yeah, same with around here. Usually, I mean, there's exposed gravel roads too, but so Ray said a guy made a chopper motorcycle like that where it was friction drive. Yeah. Sounds terrifying. Rusty, you broke your tibia. Another surgery. My God. Yeah, I think that's why everyone, kind of talks about Lachlan as like, the fan favorite. Like everybody was happy he won Unbound, and I feel like that's the truth. Racer, me and Dave tested that first version, and they made new versions, and I never filmed anything with it, but I really did like those handheld pumps. What was the name of the brand?
the box was sitting over there forever.
I know, and then I moved everything around as I started to clean up, and then got halfway through cleaning up the stuff and stopped. Dang it.
Oh, Psych. There it is.
Oh.
Psych Plus.
Oh, those are the new ones, yeah.
I think it was great.
Yeah, these are
One or
pretty
two
cool.
uses.
Yeah. They made like a bigger one that's a little less, that you might not, depending on how you ride and what you bring with you. But it's better because it has way more, you just get way more use out of it. Oh yeah, I don't have autofocus on. Oh, I do.
I turn it back on. I think it's just hitting the mic stand instead of you messing.
Yeah. But now they have displays and everything. They just really improved them over the first version. So I think they're cool. Just USB-C charged pumps. Yeah, and they just kind of fixed everything that everyone said was wrong with the first one, like giving you an actual little digital readout on the pressure gauge and stuff like that. So, yeah, better batteries, all that stuff. So, I need to remember I have them because I do feel like these would be good because I ride with like, I don't know. Look at the last video. I'm riding with a giant bag. There'd be no reason not to have it in there instead of those tiny little hand pumps that are so frustrating to use. Even the best ones. Oh, that's right, Yinzer. You're going to be passing through here right when I get back. So it does look like I'll be back on the 6th. So definitely I will hit me up with your plans when you're leaving in the morning. I knew that, Budgie. I knew you and Dylan were still talking about the trails. Girl Style said a nice steel hardtail with a suspension fork is worth owning. I think I don't disagree with that. For where I live and what I ride, I'm fine without it. I'm fine with the full rigid. You know, when the gunner came up from Otis, I'm happy with that choice. But that could easily be a hardtail with a fork that locks out too. That one's not suspension corrected, so that bike couldn't be that. But I could see that having been another option. I just don't ride that much where I need a suspension fork anymore. But you said I can make it down the Horns Trail. You wouldn't like it, but you can make it on the Schwinn. So yeah. I would be scared. I wouldn't trust that Schwinn fork on anything serious. Harry said, where do I get all my cool cycling caps? I got asked this, interestingly, in another comment. This is just an internet one from years ago. Just an old cycling team. But, yeah, as I talked about before, there's in Ohio here, there's Zephyrline Workshops, Dirty River Bicycle Works, my local shop sells stuff. But when I'm a fan of something, I'll pick up a cap, Rafa. I like my EF caps. Joy Machines and Party Size Cycling has a cap I like. So, yeah, just wherever. I don't know. There's all kinds of places. I get them at events. When I do Nutmeg, we get a cap every year. So. With Schwinn, D'Amico, you said the big revelation is that they've stopped making wacky looking suspension systems and just making cheap, simple mountain bikes. Probably better for a cheap bike, so. Let's see where we try to. Russ made a good day in the other video about 13 speeds on how component manufacturers on the market now. Yeah, that's definitely. We were talking about that a little earlier. What does this mean? Ever notice that gravel trails do not have roots and paved trails do? The trees cannot sense the vibrations because of the pavement and keep growing? I can't wrap my head around that comment.
What I read that as, like on paved trails, like we call them carbuncles, but like the cracks, it's the roots growing under the trail.
Yeah.
But on a gravel trail or whatever, it's getting direct contact from the tire or foot traffic in general. The pavement is like a layer of impact for the root. Pseudoscience at best.
Huh.
I get what they're saying that Pudgy says there's roots all over the place. He's correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think of canal towpath trails, and it is interesting how wooded they are, and there's usually roots are not a problem. Whereas I think of the paved trails where they get real bad. But yeah, I never thought of the reasoning.
The only reason the paved trail gets bad is that so like on the towpath, and this is just from working on them.
Yeah.
The towpath, the root is still growing across. It just has, that crushed limestone can,
Spread
around it.
Like,
Whereas the pavement's got nowhere to go but crack
so it
up.
cracks up. Yeah, so it could become a minor bite bump that just keeps filling in with crushed limestone.
That washout or whatever, or it's just their maintenance crew. It's a lot easier to just toss a bucket of limestone on than.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Hog Dog? I remember when I was only riding my early 2000 mountain bike, 26-inch wheel, cheaper RockShox suspension fork, and then I was on vacation for a friend's wedding in the islands, and I rode a 29er with a suspension fork, and just how much I'm like, oh my god, this is such a better bike. So. Grill Style said electric park, what happens when it's not charged? It's a replacement for CO2. So what happens when you're out of CO2? I mean, a hand pump is the only way to guarantee you always have something that could pump up your tire. It's not the market it's going for. So you don't let it run out of charge. You charge it, you put it in your bag. If you have to use it, you bring it home and recharge it, just like any other electronic you own, your Wahoo. If you ride electric gears, you charge it before you run out of charge. So I get what you're saying, but it's not made to be eternal.
It's
the
same with anything. Your lights, just anything.
Yeah, your lights. Yeah,
If you're by yourself, you're screwed. If you're with somebody, ride behind them.
Yeah, yeah. My camera batteries died. I'm a professional. I carry like 6 of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get what you're saying, and people said that in the video I made about it, but I'm like, if you don't charge electronics, they don't work. I don't know. That's how batteries are. It's not really a valid argument against the product because yeah.
Do people still use CO2?
Yeah, CO2 is still pretty popular.
I think that's the way I would go.
CO2 is like a big deal with tubeless because it kind of has the pressure to pop your bead back in if you lose it. I just find it so wasteful to have those canisters and all that stuff. I mostly carry my little hand pump, and I have a nice Cannondale one. I think they just put their brand on someone else. But I really like when with the pumps, something with the flexible hose that pulls out of there. So when you're standing there trying to pump up like one of those tiny pumps, you're not like shaking the valve around and all that, and you just have a little leeway. That's the big deal to me with hand pumps. But yeah, I would say the electric pumps are a replacement for CO2 if that's what you carry. And again, you use your CO2 once on a trip, you get another flat, you have 2. How many do people carry? 1 or 2 most? Same thing. You get 1 or 2 pumps. These new bigger ones, they give you a little bit more depending on what bike you're riding. But yeah. And I'm not a shill for them either. They sent them for free. They didn't ask for anything. They didn't sponsor anything.
I mean, other than, again, being slightly bulkier than the CO2.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. If that gives you, like, a pressure gauge, CO2, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
And I find running lower pressures like we do on, like, tubeless and gravel bikes and all that stuff now, I have less of a issue with a pressure gauge. I burped my tires last Wednesday on the Gunner, but I didn't totally flat, and I could just, when we were putting like back in, I'm like, okay, I'm at 30 now, that's good enough for the rest of the ride. Like I could just, I don't know, I think like most people who ride all the time and you run, under 40, you have a pretty good idea just from squeezing a tire about where you're at, which is pretty different than like a road tire, I would think. But
You're getting put on blast about the CO2 and tubeless.
that it won't work.
It's bad for the sealant, I guess.
Yeah, bad for the seat. Is it good for getting you home? Is it bad for your relationship if you call your girlfriend at 11 o'clock at night and you're half drunk?
That sounded too
Personal.
too real.
I do like those EF POC helmets, Pudgy. And pulled the trigger on one. Racer is saying that fork was probably just a Sun 2 or something or other. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I want to see where I'm getting put on blast about the CO2. But after this comment, seems to me we need to send the roots back to where they came from and build a wall to protect the pests. And get the trees to pay for that wall. Anyways. Okay, so Buddy said CO2 is the standard with tube. CO2 ruined sealant. CO2 not good for tubeless. Hand pump or electric pump, small one. I would say, okay, so like when I burnt my tire the other day, the electric pump would have been perfect. If you've completely flatted, man, we'll see. I also, yeah, when I flat on a tubeless, I just put a tube in it, and I know everyone else just plugs them. But again, it's not good for the sealant. Isn't it just about getting yourself home and convenience? I know, so switching subjects like always on here. I love 29er all day long, but for single track 27.5, I've heard people talk about maneuverability of smaller tires or wheel size. I'm a 29er 700C. Give me that on every bike. I ride other bikes with like 29ers, and I will take and also just for the right, I'm 6'1", so that could have an effect. I always hear Terry B say the same thing. He's like, I'm tall, my bikes are big, give me the wheels that fit it. Yeah, I don't find that I want smaller wheels on any bike. I don't feel myself being more maneuverable or more efficient or any of that stuff. But that's me, and I don't own every bike, and I haven't ridden all kinds of bikes. But grill style, I've said CO2 electric pumps. It's just riser being lazy. I don't agree. No, don't agree. Like I said, I carry a hand pump. I don't use CO2 because I do find it being a little wasteful. The canisters, but it's not like I'm living some perfect green life either. But yeah, I don't know. It's a pain in the ass to pump up a fully flat tire with the small on, if you don't have a full frame pump, which most of us don't carry. So. Cycling Brian, yeah. You're someone who carries more gear like I do. You said, I think I have 4 CO2 cartridges in your bag, plus your toe peak pump as a backup. CO2 crystallizes all current sealant makers. All right. Again, I've had people put CO2 into my bikes. I don't own any of the stuff, so. Racer said, I ride fat bikes in the winter. Ever try a hand pump on a fat bike tire? I haven't. So I'm guessing it's a whole pain in the ass.
Well, see, I think of it, riding the road bikes, trying to put 125 with that little hand pump.
Yeah, you're not even getting there.
Right.
Yeah, you're not getting to 125 with one of those tiny hand pumps. You're getting home.
You're going to get home, right.
And I agree with, but I don't agree. I believe what Pudgy's saying about sealant.
Sure.
But my whole thing is not to, at that point, preserve the sealant. It's to get myself home. And again, this is someone who doesn't carry one of those. I throw a tube in and I usually hand pump it. So. So you still have to carry a pump in case the battery isn't charged. No, you don't. You don't go out with electronics that batteries aren't charged. Like, I don't know what's confusing about that, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't bring a headlight with a battery that's not charged. People don't ride electronic SRAM with a battery that's not charged. Again, you don't need to use one. You don't need to care about them. But no, you don't bring CO2 without cartridges. You don't bring a CO2 thing without the cartridges. You don't bring empty cartridges. You know what I mean? You charge it. If you used it, you charge it. If it's been in your bag for 6 months and you haven't used it, you charge it.
I mean, it's anything. Yeah, right. You
I
don't
rode
bring
the
an
e-bike
empty cartridge. You don't.
Yeah.
You bring your cartridges and forget the top and whatever.
Yeah.
You haven't used your hand pump in 10 years and the seal's all dry rotted.
Yeah.
There's some rider responsibility no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what you do. So, I rode the e-bike today. The battery was charged after the last time I rode it, but now I haven't ridden it in like a month because I've just wanted to ride my bike. When I knew I was going to do that, I got up in the morning. I put the e-bike battery on the charger to make sure that it hadn't discharged because I have no idea how fast one of those batteries discharges or not. So I wasn't going to risk it. I put it on the charger. And if I wasn't going to do that, I would have rode a different bike. Just like if I don't know if this is charged, I'm not going to throw it in my bag. I'm going to throw my hand pump in the bag. So, but I'm also not a weight weenie, so the idea of carrying bolt doesn't ruin anything for me either. Like Cycling Brian said. God damn it. Oh yeah, Otis mentioned that you had your rack on all weird, so. He puked today. I brought some cat grass down here for him, and he just went to town on it, then throws up. Dude, chill. Eat your dinner first. Talking about the cat. Yeah, so the new ones have a battery indicator. I'm not, man. I don't trust battery indicators on anything. Like my camera, like $3,800 camera has a garbage battery indicator. I said if it's been a while, I just charge stuff. What we did in the first video is we like basically drained it over and over again to see, like, not read their recommendations, see how much it had, and the new ones are better. Battery indicators, because the problem is, oh my god, yeah,
it's not worth it. That's not a bad view. That looks fine.
Yeah, I just don't trust battery indicators because the problem is maybe it's not possible, but I think their curve is so weird because I have a Magic Shine headlight and they put a battery indicator on it and an actual percentage, like a readout, like these newer ones have, and I thought that was like such an innovation. I'm like, okay, instead of just having a blue light that goes yellow and then just is red and then dead at some point, now I can see the percentage. I just don't think lithium-ion batteries discharge at a rate that anything could actually read what they do, because I think once they get to that last bit, or even under 50%, they're just almost gone,
Your R5 has done that to me a few times.
Yeah.
It's like a gas tank where it like lasts forever at the beginning when it's full, and then all of a sudden like, oh shit, I'm almost out of gas.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's a technology issue. Someone who knows more than me could say that, but I just don't think, as good as modern batteries are, I don't think they discharge at a rate that like electronics are able to. I don't know. I feel like it would have to be like sending test charges to it. I don't know. It's beyond me, but it's annoying. Anyways, that's why my Wahoo, it has 4 bars on a Wahoo bolt, like to just to show your charge. I'm just like, I charge it after every ride, and I do long enough ride so it's getting discharged down far enough, but because you do want them to, you don't always want to just top charge everything. It's not good for batteries.
I was going to say, you're going to get like a whole discussion on like cycles and.
Yeah. I mean, like, you look at your Mac, like, this is the first time in my life I've worked off a laptop, and I work off the laptop even at home, and Apple has all those battery things and all those details, And I think on a computer they do a better job just because you're processing power and it probably can monitor the battery. But my computer is the only thing I've ever felt like is accurate on a battery readout. And it's, you know, again, I didn't pay this for it, but brand new $4,000 computer. So I think, you know, I don't know. And the batteries are built in, so there might be other electronics hooked up to them. I have no idea that could monitor them, where something with removable or just USB-C batteries can't. Anyways, that's way down that rabbit hole. Because it is an annoyance of mine. It always has been. But when I got, like I said, when I got the Magic Shine light, I was stoked on it. I'm like, an actual percentage. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if that percentage just crashes all of a sudden really fast. It doesn't mean anything. That percentage wasn't true. It's like you're loading on your computer when, or how long files are going to take to copy. It just doesn't mean shit, you know. I hear you, Pudgy. I'd get back onto cycling stuff. Again, I carry a pump and I pump up my tires. The company sent me these, and I think it's kind of a neat product, and it's better than CO2 in my opinion. But would I have gone out and bought one on my own? I don't know. Probably not. I can only imagine what all the comments have been since I.
Now I'm trying to find where.
Paddy Redbeard became a member. Paddy Redbeard celebrates 40 months of membership. All your battery are belong to US.
Oh man, it didn't put the word on the screen. All your battery belonged to us. Okay, I'm guessing that's what it meant. Well, you could see it. You could read it down there. Pudgy said the smaller wheel thing is a myth. So using a mini pump, it's a good arm workout. No one likes pumping those pumps when everyone's standing around waiting, and we all take turns because not one person could usually. Even when I just burnt my tire, it still took two of us to get it back up to 35 and get myself on the rest of the ride. 2.5 tires on your 26-inch bike, a 26-inch wheel bike. Wow, that must be later then, because I can't put 2.5s in any of my 26-inch wheel bikes. Newly built parts bin bike has a pump peg. I think I have one or two bikes that have a pump peg, but I have a frame pump here, but it didn't work. Like Dave was saying, old pumps, the rubber seals degrade and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Patty, that makes wheels being sized to the bike. I absolutely agree with. Like I'm saying, I'm 6'1", and I've never felt like I just feel better on 729 all the time, and the frame fits that for me. But yeah, I definitely, like who was it, Terry, who used to build those bikes for smaller women that had smaller wheel size so the frame geometry could still match. I feel like, yeah, I just don't agree with the maneuverability aspect of it. I've never had a problem maneuvering I'm way faster on my gunner on mountain bike trails. There's no doubt about it. Downhill, tight turns, whatever. Just a frame that fits me right and could roll over stuff. But again, I'm 6'1". So. Hog Dog said, I've thought about doing a mullet, 26-inch rear and 29 front. That'd be interesting. I guess that's a way to get some stack out of your bike. $650 for gravel is nice for you. 729ers feel so damn tall. Yeah. Pre-check ride. You don't have dead batteries. Yeah. Like leaving with no water in your Camelback. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to tell me there's a hand pump, even a good Silca pump that is like a small pump that is great. They're okay. Floor pumps are totally different. The pump I have over here with a gauge is the one I use when I pump up my bikes at home. You know what I mean? A track pump, whatever you want to call them. So, what was that? Now what's turning off? We didn't have anything
Now
on.
it came back on.
Did it come back on? No, it didn't.
No.
That would have been hilarious.
Pudgy Bedel Pusher Super Chatted $1.99. Hey Gramps, catch the fuck up ball sack, rocket, lobster, woozy face, man shrugging.
It just cut off. It didn't even read the last couple. Daniel, back's doing good. I've felt some tightness down in the lower part the last few weeks as I've been riding like 200-mile weeks. So I've been making sure to step up the stretching and all that, but doing so good. So don't bring an uncharged pump to a tire fight. All right, let's catch up. There's a lot of hand pumpers here. Hey. If you don't trust the battery indicator, then how do you know the electronic pump is charged? I trust it at the high end. That's what I was saying. When it goes green and the microprocessor stops it from charging, then it's fully charged as much as the battery will take. So I don't trust it at the low end. But I would always pump it full after I used it is the point. So and again, like I'm gonna go. I know I shouldn't even go back to it, but why won't I go back to it? And you're saying, what's the point of the electronic pump if you have to carry a hand pump anyways? Or you, one, you don't, but that it's easier.
I've been thinking of a lot of answers to that, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's
like
easier.
you said,
you use
you
the
want to get
electronic
it.
pump, and if something goes wildly wrong, you didn't charge it for some reason. You brought an uncharged electronic because you mixed it up. I brought the wrong GoPro battery before. It's not like you never fuck anything up. But yeah, it's easier, and then you have the hand pump as a backup.
Yeah.
So what's
Or you're on a group ride and don't want to inconvenience the rest of the ride.
yeah, you want to keep it moving. So yeah, you have both. I'm just not a weight weenie, so I guess and I ride with bags, so it doesn't bother me to have a couple small things with me. But oh, there it is. All your batteries belong to us.
I do get what they're saying, though. I mean, they do have a valid point in that if you're carrying two, why not just use the one that always
Yeah.
works? It's not an invalid.
Yeah, I would just say most of my friends who ride with CO2 still carry a hand pump as well. So it's not that different to not have the CO2 and carry an electronic pump. And again, I'm not even an advocate for it. I only carry my hand pump with me. I just don't think the argument against it is also that valid. You've got to know the battery well. Be one with the battery. Do you guys ever listen to the Revolting podcast? I never have heard it. No. Joseph said, got stuck in the rain with your bike at Waterworks today. Oh, huh. So it rained that close to here without raining here. But you want to get a new helmet? What's my favorite, if any? I am not like... I haven't tried enough helmets to have like any kind of favorite. I ride the Kali, Kali. The main thing I like about that is it has an integrated light. I just like having a light in my helmet. What's he meowing about? Come here. So yeah, I'm not a... I mean, I had two nutcase helmets, and then I've had two Kali helmets, and I like them. But yeah, I'm not a helmet expert. I know some people are really big into making sure the helmet has MIPS, which is some kind of system. Those Bontrager ones with all that wave stuff. I wear a helmet as if I get smashed by a car, my problems are going to be worse. My helmet is in case I actually just like have a weird accident where I fall and knock on my head. I'm not even a helmet Nazi or anything like that. So, but yeah, I like having the light up there. I think the safest thing about my helmet is that there's a secondary light and also a backup light in case I didn't charge my tail light or my bike pump. Anyone here ever been able to get tubeless to work on road tires? I had a bike that was set up here tubeless on road tires to rims that are not tubeless originally, but I didn't get the bike built up in time to actually test it. Someone else set the wheels up that way, then I put them on a bike and they hung on the wall and now they're all dried up. Use bikes you've never used a GPN yet? Yeah, I don't like, I've talked about this in a number of videos. I don't like having my smartphone out on my bike. It just brings work right up into my face, no matter when I'm trying to get away from it or just everything. So a $300 bike computer any day of the week. Yes, smartphones have more features, are more capable. I like this, and I use the simplest one, the small bolt. I just like a very simple bike computer. It just, to me, it's less intrusive and all that kind of stuff. So I understand why people say it all the time. Why would you even bother with a bike computer? You could just route with your smartphone. I don't want my smartphone out. Same thing when we're on vacation. We'll be on vacation next week. When we stop for lunch, I've just been chatting with my friends out on the trail for 4 hours. When we sit down and have a beer and like get a meal, I'm a freelancer. I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to check my emails. If there's an important one, I'm going to answer it and respond to it. But I don't want to know about that when I'm like riding out on the road with my friends. The other reason I've said before about why a bike computer over a smartphone is these things now are what, like if you're using an iPhone or Samsung, like the nicer ones are like $1,200. If I wreck my bike, the bolt is built like a tank. It's not going to break. But if it did break somehow, I lost $300. If this breaks, it's $1,200. So, yeah, bike computers all the way. I've never met anyone who got a bike computer and then regretted it. Is like a very good point to make, as they kind of cascaded through my friends group. No one had one except Large, and then pretty soon everyone had one. And I don't know anyone who's regretted the decision. So.
See, as an outsider, I still don't understand it. Again, admittedly, not having used, but just to simplify it. I mean, insurance will buy a new phone.
I don't have insurance.
If you have insurance.
I don't even have health insurance. What are you talking about?
All of your guys' bikes are probably more expensive than that phone is.
Not mine.
maybe not yours.
They're just really simple. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
again, like I don't want notifications from emails. I've turned off most of that, but emails I have on phone calls.
Yeah.
And I have like the phone calls and texts come through on my bike computer, just because but no emails or anything like that. And so it's one of those things I could look at it and it's like, is this something I have to deal with? No, and it goes away in 2 seconds. You know.
The only thing that not having done it again, the only thing that would get me is that if you do wreck and screw your phone up and you're by yourself or whatever, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can't, call for help.
Yeah, and your phone's safer in your bike bag or in your pocket. I put it in the bag. Also, like the more expensive, like if you want like the full featured computers, like Garmin makes computers that like have crash detection and they can automatically call an emergency contact and all that. I run, like I said, the super basic Element Bolt 2. It's not for everyone. There's no touch screen. There's just buttons. I like that. And I get why other people don't, and they want the touch screen. They want to be able to zoom around on the map.
Right.
And free ride. If I'm going to do that, if I'm in a new city and I didn't make a route, I will pull my phone out for that stuff. But 95% of the time, it's like we're on vacation. We're going to have a route. My Wahoo's going to show me where to go.
Yeah.
I could have just the information fields up I want. So if I don't want to see how far we have to go, if I don't want to see how far we've gone, I could Erin loves to know the elevation, so she like has like the climbing pages up. She wants to know when the climbs are coming, how steep they're going to be. I always tell her, keep it to yourself. Like, that's not how I ride. You know, I just
Right.
like, so. I'm sure I'm caught up now that I saw you. See Pudgy's comment there. Oh, man. Let's see what we can get.
A big chunk of that is Jay Dandy and Pudgy going back and forth talking.
Oh, yeah. Blackball said team hand pump, everything self-propelled. Yeah. I always have a hand pump fight me. Yeah, I don't. It's funny, the pump conversation. My whole thing is just like, it's another option, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the idea that it makes someone lazy because you don't want to stand there and pump one of those tiny hand pumps is just ridiculous to me.
Well, I redacted it, and then Pudgy said, fuck that dude, and then he redacted it. He made a comment about e-bikes.
He's one of these guys.
He was.
He's just a jock.
He showed his cards there, right?
So the gorilla dude's just some jock. He's one of these. He's one of these guys at the mountain bike trails who comes up to me and says, "How's the gravel grinding?" Yeah. Go suck Lance Armstrong's dick, you fucking piece of shit.
I was hoping to avoid going down that path.
Too late. Just carry 2 wheels in case you get a flat. See if I could catch up. So everyone's going off on that dude, but you had his post. But yeah, there's always got to be one of those dudes. There's just always these stupid pieces of shit. You know that gorilla dude drives a car every fucking day. That fucking bastard. Fuck that dude. Get the fuck out of here. Unsubscribe. Get the fuck out of here. Don't ever fucking come back. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're the kind of person that ruins cycling for everyone. Talk about e-bikes or lazy people. You're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. No, you don't need to hold Pudgy back. Pudgy's right. Fuck that dude. Fuck people say
Oh,
that.
did you figure out what he said just based on all the replies?
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. I just hate people like that. I just can't help it. Like, fuck that dude. Like, I'm gonna drive my car everywhere, then complain about people who ride e-bikes because I've got to show that I'm tough and I make the effort. Like, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Piece of shit. Anyways. Just hate those dudes. God, it's so frustrating. And it's funny too because some of the coolest dudes in like the cycling space own e-bikes. Terry Berenson, Dustin Klein. Like, this gorilla dude's cooler than those guys. I fucking doubt it.
Not to bring back the battery thing, but how are you guys charging all your stuff when you're out?
So I carry like the little backup batteries. What do you call them? Battery bank,
Like the
power
blocks?
banks.
Okay, yeah.
But we camp at state park campgrounds and stuff like that a lot where they have like a little,
Okay.
like a little electric
Right.
hookup. If we're like, so we also plan ahead. So like the first night of our trip, we know there's not going to be electric hookup. So we said everyone, it's going to be a long day already. Make sure you've got 2 days worth of stuff to charge.
Okay.
And the second day, we shouldn't be riding after dark, so you prioritize bike computer.
Yeah.
Maybe for us, like I'm going to have my bike computer charged. I'm going to charge my phone first, So yeah, you just got to. I carry 2, and now I have one that has 2 USBs, and I found it could charge my phone and a Wahoo twice over. So
That's not bad at all.
yeah, and they're not that big or heavy. Like the one that could do them twice over is like that. So yeah,
I don't know if you were going like the full like solar setup.
I haven't done the solar setup. I'm interested in the people who have it. We ride so much in the shade and just a lot of clouds around here that I
Right.
haven't messed with it. The other thing, I mean, you know, if we're like last year we did that tour in Michigan, which was way more off road and you way more off the beaten path. But I also carry still like we carry like Erin carries a plug that has like multiple USB. So if we get to a campsite that has one plug, she plugs
Everybody
that and we
can-
could all be
right.
charging. But we'll do that in the restaurants too.
Yeah.
'Cause most restaurants and breweries have a spot
Yeah.
too. You find a booth and you get at least a little bit of juice into something. But yeah. T said, "Have you done much bike packing in Europe?" I've done zero, so I've never bike packed in Europe. I've only been to Europe twice, and only once since I would have been into bike packing, and that's just not what we were doing on that trip. So, Daniel, yeah, what is Torsa? The Ohio Scioto River Valley ride. I know what you're talking about. Columbus down to the river, whatever's down there, Chillicothe. I've never done it, but I know about it. I have a T-shirt from it that I found at the thrift store. Does the bike computer have a camera on it? Mine doesn't. I don't. Are there bike computers with cameras? There might be. Not that I'm aware of, but. Bradley said easily one of the best bike-related purchases ever was the Element Bolt version 2. Same, yeah. I've never regretted it. Like I said, you could look at it if you want to. You could black out the screen to almost nothing except your speed. I also like the idea of just like understanding how fast I'm going and what speed is from it. Just elevation, gradients. Again, stuff your phone could do, but I just wouldn't have up on my phone. So
Does anybody still run? I don't even know how to like the thing where like you put the thing on your back tire and it goes past the magnet.
oh,
Or
okay.
is everything just
yeah.
based off a
GPS.
GPS?
Yeah, so I have one of those, and I started to use it right before like I found out about Strava.
No.
And then I was using Strava to log my rides, but just putting my phone in my pocket, not having it out mounted on my bars anywhere, so not seeing any real time stuff. But yeah, those were so you had to set those up precisely, and they were never still that accurate.
They were never really accurate.
I think my dad might still have one on his hybrid, but yeah, basically you put a thing on your spokes and a thing on your fork, and then you have a head.
It's
unit.
still like how power meters work,
Yeah.
but like those
Well, cadence
like
sensors, not power meters.
yeah, whatever. But yeah, you had to like put it at a certain spot, otherwise you would get like a false reading because it.
Yeah.
You know,
You had to measure how far your tire
Right.
went around, all that stuff. They were a pain to set up. They were the only option you had back in the day. But yeah,
everything just GPS now.
yeah, GPS, and then it corrects after, because you also got the like bike computers have altimeters, so you get a real readout of the elevation. So Bouncing Bike Life said, anyone see the new bike saddle where each side is separate and swings? I've seen the ones where they're separate, like you have two pieces. We've looked at them on the stream before, but I've never seen them that they swing. It sounds like that would be definitely for a very specific injury. So. Oh, Madison said phones suck so much juice, bike computers don't. Also, phones will phones will turn off in the bright sun, like the hot sun.
Get overused.
I don't know if more modern ones are better, but I do remember like even riding a bike share once where it had phone holder, and I put mine on there to map, and it just turned off.
It still happens.
And the cold, yeah.
Right.
I've had it even happen in the cold with my pocket, but. Kyle said, I love my Garmin, but I'm super pissed of them not adding any audio controls. Oh. Yeah. Colby, what's up? Everyone's still going off on the e-bike hater. Gorilla has a heavy. Bubbers, oh God, what did I come into? Stephanie, yeah. So when anyone's using a hand pump, it's your responsibility as a friend to stand behind them and take an Instagram video. After 10 p.m. lands heavy. Oh, it's almost 11. We got to wrap up. Yeah, Joseph. In Summit County,
Sublivian subscribed to the channel.
yeah, an e-bike and some, like I said today, 90 degrees riding the e-bike. It was awesome, you know. But how do you really feel? What's up, Adam? Just e-bike haters in here. That just tough guys being tough, being annoying. What's up, Pat? Yeah. I usually don't get going that much. Well, yeah, that's the lie. I do get going.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Right.
it's pretty typical. I have opinions. You're going to hear about them. Battery bank recommendations. I'm sure other people have, but I've always had luck with Anker, Anker brand. I've also, like, I started buying their stuff early on, and then I've also seen them sponsor big channels like MKBHD, and I don't think he would accept it if they weren't, like, legit, but I've never had a problem. I've definitely, like anything else lithium ion, the early ones I bought don't have much of a charge anymore, and they do have to be replaced over time. The last few I bought have been going strong now, though, for like 3 years. So I'm about ready to upgrade, though, because all mine are getting so old that they're still working, but they're micro USB-C, which I just hate with a passion. And I hate, again, we're talking about wasteful stuff, but having bought battery banks that I don't want to use anymore because the plug. But with the iPhone now, everything being USB-C, I don't know. I really feel like I want to upgrade. Yeah, pavilions. That's a good one, Stephanie. She was answering your question. Usually find a pavilion or a light pole. When we did the 420 Woody's ride, I realized I didn't plug my phone in overnight. I thought I had, but mine is still the one that has lightning, and it didn't charge. It wasn't in all the way. And when we were having, like, or after dinner, there was a pavilion we were hanging out in, after party, and I just plugged in there. Exactly, Adam. Does that come up? Yeah, it did. There we go. Second, Brian said did a week-long trip carrying solar panels on his bike. They were okay on sunny days, but he carried a backup plan. Yeah, traveling through used that one, and he would put it out when he was hanging out when he did his cross-country trip. But I do think he still had other battery. Well, I think he carried solar that would help recharge his battery packs. But he would also then, when he stopped somewhere that had electricity, charge him the old-fashioned way with the holes, as he says in Cable Guy. Yinder said Skull Candy battery banks. I'm not familiar with those. Carl said Anker. Not sure if they are cheap. I think Anker's pretty middle of the road. There's higher end ones with like better indicators and all that stuff. Anker, at least, like again, I said I haven't upgraded for a while, but.
Pudgy Bedell Pusher super chatted $1.99. Hey Fitzy, how about that abort command you but hole?
I put that in the chat to remember and I totally forgot to make it. Yeah. Cyclometers. Is that probably what we were talking about with the old school ones? Good old cat eye style bike computers. Yeah, cat eyes. I have people who still comment on the channel once in a, like on the post once in a while, like when I make something. Why not just use a cat eye? Why not just use a cat eye? You know. I like accurate data. I need to come from space. Triangulation. Do all that research for nothing. Bill Clinton didn't turn on our military GPS satellites for public use for no reason. Anyways, that's true. They used to have only the military had accurate GPS. So like when you bought a Garmin unit for your car, which is like kind of the original thing they were used for, they could only be accurate within so many meters or feet.
Really?
Because, yeah, so only the military had like the precise precision data from our GPS satellites. It was a initiative under Clinton and then a bill that like turned on the precise GPS tracking for commercial use.
What was the sense of not having that available from the beginning?
I don't know if it was that like the U.S. was so much farther advanced than like maybe our adversaries, so they didn't want it to be.
They didn't know. They didn't want them to know where you were in your.
Or just the
Found
idea
out
that
cord or
GPS
whatever?
satellites work that well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure,
There's
that
using-
okay.
They were using it for like laser, not laser, GPS guided missiles and stuff like that. So it's a military development GPS, and then it was only turned on for commercial use in the 90s. And it's probably because they realized, okay, now everyone else, the Russians have it, the European
Right.
Union has it, so commercial use is there's no reason not to allow it. But anyways.
I wonder if it's raining.
What's ringing?
Raining.
Oh, raining outside?
It's not up on yours, but there's a. YouTube says it's not getting enough video.
Oh, huh. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, we are having like little disruptions. Yeah, the internet must be super slow. But then it came back. Oh, who knows? The problem with the hammerhead stuff, Dimitri, is that, and I think they fixed this with later iterations, but every time I've watched a review of a hammerhead, they talk about how it doesn't connect directly to your phone. It doesn't have an app connectivity. I think they fixed this, but I remember watching Stoked on Spokes, Josh Ramiro review one, and I'm like, instantly, the second he said like it doesn't work with your phone, I'm like, done with this review. Who cares? Like, you know, because me and Ben like toured across Connecticut with no pre-planned routes. We sat down with coffee every day, opened up the Wahoo app, saw a route, sent it right to the phone. Whereas I believe the hammerheads had to be like hooked up to Wi-Fi, like to be able to like make anything happen. They weren't directly connected to a phone app, and so even though they have all these great features, none of them mattered because they just don't do the simple things you need them to do. I think they also don't like just like upload your Strava route. I think you have to come home, be within the Wi-Fi of like a PC and all that stuff. So, Pat said I have a Garmin watch, but still like the display that I don't have to look at my wrist, so I run both. Watch, but still like a display that I don't have to look at my wrist, so I run both. Yeah, probably banned. All right, we're gonna catch up and we're gonna end this. So yeah, Colby was saying I use the watch. Dylan runs a watch I know sometimes too, who like a lot. I do like being able to see the speed. With the Bolt, what you do is basically I have all the fields that I want on my main screen, which has elevation, distance, whatever. But if you just zoom in, you could get it just to the speed you're going if you zoom in all the way. So if I don't want to see anything, I could do that, or just switch to the map screen. And then I have my customizable screen. I have my put the battery on there, so that's another thing I could zoom in all the way to the battery life of the Wahoo, and then I don't have anything else up. But yeah, I get that. I like having it up all the time now. I'm just like accustomed to it. But Yeah, Stephanie, I was surprised. I did check out the battery and like say the same thing I said with the charging of the battery. I only charge it when I'm at home because I've seen all the disasters with e-bike batteries. Mine has not had an issue where I felt any heat come off the battery yet, which is surprising. Even today, riding in 90-degree heat, and I rode up out of the Cuyahoga Valley, no issues at all. So,
It's raining. It's raining aborts.
it's raining a fucking abort. Yeah. Maybe he just hates electricity in general. Yeah. You don't have the lights on right now? You're not watching this? Yeah. Is he riding a bike that's powering his
He's
computer?
powering it.
Yeah. Human powered computer. Shane, it's been a long time, so I'll bring this up, but he said loves the neon PAP sign. So my buddy Brad, the last video who I was visiting, I don't think I actually show his face on it, but years ago, he had a PAP sign, the exact same looking one, and he let me borrow it, and I had it in my window, and when I lived down the street in a normal house, and my brother one night came home, opened up we had these sliding windows, moved it to the edge, and when I got home, I went to turn it off, and I pulled the chain and it fell on the ground,
Ugh.
smashed it all over. Was so pissed, and these things, I think they're actually cheaper now than they used to be. Like they were like, I don't know, maybe because they were collectible, I don't know, maybe they've made more, I don't know. But anyways, I was like heartbroken, and because it was on loan. Brad's like, have this PAP sign, but I might want it back at some point. So I was in a Abbey Ann's, like kind of a junk, not an antique store, more of a junk store, and they had this one, and it had a price that was like $350, X'd out $250, X'd out $150, and then they were having a big sale that day, and I don't know what was going on, and I offered the guy $100 for it. So technically, I've always considered this is Brad's replacement. If he wants it, I'd have to give it to him, but yeah, it's like my prized possession. Tour de France going to start in Italy this year and finish in Nice. Yeah. Good pizza. Peloton will love it. Gorilla sounds like either a hardcore mountain biker or a hardcore roadie. I've always said it's the extremes. It's the people on either end of the spectrum that are usually the worst. So. You guys give Gorilla the homage. Daniel said, when I knew my tire wasn't sealing, I rode with a damn floor pump strapped to your back. Nice. Yeah, I still like Colby. I just still like knowing the overall, like what I've done, like even for the year mileage. So. You're welcome for the pandemic. AG asked if we all use bone conductor headphones. I don't ride with headphones at all. I have a Bluetooth speaker for rare events when I really want music. St. Patrick's Day to listen to the Pogues. But yeah, I don't. My girlfriend has some and she really likes them. But yeah, I've never ridden with headphones. So
I would guess none of you guys. That's a dick move in a group ride.
yeah, I guess if you always rode solo, but I could cycling Brian. I just want to hear what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Analog Geek said, "Hey Tim, you don't use chamois, right? How does that work?" I don't know. I've never used a chamois, so I don't know how chamois work. So, I've tried some padded boxers and some, or like whatever not padded boxers, padded underwear, and I have some shorts that were padded. I just never liked it, so I guess technically that was a chamois. I used an REI. I can never remember that fucking word. Rebate thing once to try them, but yeah. So Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why you get saddle sores without them. I don't get saddle sores without them. But I ride, like I said, I like leather tension saddles. They're soft, so I don't have any need for them. Dylan rides regular saddles. He doesn't use chamois either. So I feel like just find the right saddle. I don't riding all. I just feel like chamois came out. Everyone started riding ultra lightweight saddles, and then you put the padding on your shorts instead of on the saddle. I don't know. I don't know why you get saddle sores riding without a chamois, though. So, Shane B, as much water as you could bring. That's it, right? I don't think there's any other tips for beating the heat. I do like long sleeves, whether you have something technical, something wool, even like I like the old, like dress shirts, just something to keep the sun off your skin as much as possible.
I just had a discussion at work about that. Long sleeves actually keep you cooler, keep the sun off you.
Yeah, I always wore long sleeves at the farm, so.
Demoko's comment. What do you do if you don't charge the e-bike? Checkmate liberal.
Did I miss that? Oh, I did
Yeah.
miss it. Checkmate liberal. Yeah, even with the Brooks, you feel like, I guess, if you've probably always ridden with chamois, that's what's comfortable to you. I never have, so that's what's comfortable to me. When I tried it, I didn't like it, but I've never bought an expensive cycling shorts with bibs. I've never bought so I don't know what those would feel like, but if it's one of those things where I'm not having a problem, so I've never found the reason to try it. And if it doesn't work for you the other way, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I feel like it's like anything. I didn't used to ride through the winter, and when I would start riding my bike again in the spring, I had 2 weeks worth of rides that were real uncomfortable, and then you got used to it. And I'm wondering if it's just the same thing. Your butt's used to the chamois, you ride without it, you're sore on that ride. Have you ever pushed through and ridden for a couple more weeks without one? So that's not expert advice at all. I'm just wondering if it's kind of the same case. You're accustomed to what you're riding, and there's a transition period. I don't know. No more talking, our bands will be handed out. If I had an e-bike, I'd hook up an 8-track player. All right, we got to get out of here. Anyways, I do have a new video edited. I'm going to voice over it tomorrow and put it out on Thursday. It's going to be about the North Coast Inland Trail that me and Aaron rode. But you told me to sign off and text. I actually have a lot of videos shot. I shot another video, an intro to a video today, so there's tons of stuff coming, and I'm trying to get stuff in the bank for vacation. I think I'm going to do a bike setup for my bike packing stuff and all that. So, yeah, a lot of other stuff coming. I think we'll have the guest next week talking about this SRAM transmission part that they've made on their own. That's the plan. Anyways, yeah, let's get out of here. See ya. Peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time I'm
Fitzwater photo.
Holiday, and all I want to say, holiday. Yeah.